I plan on going at him. I plan on going at him the way he comes at people. You know, they always say a guy who always wins by knockout ends up losing by knockout. So he's gonna come at me, I'm gonna come at him.
You've been pretty vocal about Canelo's slips. I mean, you deal with Victor Conte all the time, so like you have like, I'm sure you get some extra knowledge about what's going on. What is most troubling to you about everything that went down with Canelo?
I mean, as a fighters, as we know, I mean, we know, you know, I mean, if you ask any fighter, we know what's going on, and we know that, you know, a fighter is doing something or not doing nothing. I mean, we grew up in gym wars, you know, we fight our way throughout anything. There's been days where I looked horrible in sparring, days that I look good, but the same guy, you know. But the thing is about boxing is so beautiful is, if you get your ass kicked one day, you can go home and work on mistakes. Just a little bit of step back can change the whole fight game. You know what I mean? The next day you can go in there, and if you take a step back, you're actually landing on the guy. So boxing is like a chess match, and people don't know that. It's not about doing something to be strong, to kill somebody, to hurt somebody. It's actually a chess match, and that's what I love about boxing, is that you can correct your mistakes, but correct it the right way. Don't try to get advantage by doing something else. Being with Victor Conte, you know, he opened my eyes to a lot of things. Before I got to him, he made me do a blood test. He did a blood test. He goes, before I even talk to you, I need to know what you're about. So he did a blood test on me, and he said that I'm a clean fighter, and I have been throughout my whole life, and that's what I'm all about. My dad doesn't even believe in taking vitamins and stuff like that. He's like, eat some fruit, eat some vegetables, you know what I mean? So this whole Canelo thing, man, I'm really disappointed that, you know, that he's not being punished the way he should be.
And is that, do you feel like this evening, like a lot of people are saying, like, why even have the fight on Cinco de Mayo? You know, it's the big fight has gone away. Is this an opportunity for you guys to sort of restore some faith in boxing?
I mean, when he fought Canelo the first fight, the fight was intense because the people were trying to see what Canelo has, but Canelo really came in there and he worked on his defense really good in the fight, and that's what he was doing. He didn't come to fight. He came to box, and it was the first time people saw Canelo actually trying to box, and he was just scared to get hit. People want to see fight. When the Canelo and the Golovkin fight got made, people thought they're going to see a war and someone's going to get knocked out, but I felt like they were playing it safe in that fight. But with me, I got nothing to lose, but I got the whole world to gain. So I'm going to hit him with the world and see what's up.
What do you say to those skeptics that say this is not going to be something exciting? I know a couple of people that are willing to put their house up for you. What do you have to say about that?
I think it's amazing because people that know boxing, like I said, styles make fights, and people don't know that styles. I mean, if you watch Chavez Jr., I spar with Chavez Jr. in the gym, and the style, you know, you could see the style. It's just, I've always loved to go forward. And the people that know boxing, that they know that the guy hasn't fought somebody that has technique and is going to be in front of him. Because you can have defense and move around, but you could also have defense and be in front of the guy and hit the guy also. You don't got to run. I mean, what I saw in boxing that I've learned in my whole life is that fear. You know what I mean? People fear him. I don't fear him. So if you got no fear, you go into the fight and you show that to the other guy, you break him down just by looking at him in the eyes to tell him that I'm here to fight. I'm not scared of you, man. I know you're human. You're not a robot. You're not a machine. Everybody is beatable on any given night. Like I said, I've sparred with really crazy killers in the gym that I've done good with, and there are people that say, oh my God, don't go in there with them, and I got in there and I did really good.
You have been busy enough in the last 2 to 3 months. There's no rust issue?
No, because we've had like 4 or 5 guys pull out. The guy that Danny Jacobs is fighting this Saturday is the guy that I was supposed to fight on March 17th. And he pulled out to fight Danny Jacobs. So it's not that I've been out of the ring because of anything else. It's because my promoter has been working on fights. The guys have been pulling out. Ishe Smith pulled out and the Salaki guy pulled out. And, you know, now I got Golovkin. I don't pull out, man. We stay in.
He's had a high knockout percentage, and in his last 2 fights, he's gone the distance. What will you see in those styles? What have you seen in those fights?
Exactly what I was telling you guys. He has a lot of knockouts, but he went the decision the last couple of fights. Why? If he's so great, why not end everything in a knockout? That says something that people do go rounds with him. People do hit him. and people did show. One of those fights with Danny Jacobs, some people actually thought he lost that fight because of the way Danny fought. So people have been showing that, the guy is beatable and the guy is hittable. The guy does have my respect, and he's a monster. I'm going to bug he's a giant, and I know that. But he doesn't know what I have and what I feel in my heart.
Now, how did you find out about Golovkin being an option for you? Who told you? When
Don King.
Okay. And what was your reaction when it's all happened?
Yes. My reaction was yes. If you're serious, hell yes. Let's do it. Yes. And next thing I know, man, King actually had a guy at middleweight that he offered them and they turned him down. So he asked me, I said, yes, man, of course. He's like, man, you got a lot of balls, kid. I was like, of course I do. He goes, if you can you can fight the way as well as you talk, man, I got your back. I'm like, believe in me, King, let's do this, and we're going to do this.
When you signed about a year ago, when you signed with him, I think many of us here pretty much were clowning. What do you have to say now?
I mean, what do you guys think about it? You know what I mean? You guys were clowning, but it's okay. You know what I mean? It's okay. I see that. I see that people put Don King down, but no matter what, no matter how you put him down, he's the godfather of boxing, and people know that. Going back to the days, people respect Don King, and honestly, he's been good to me and my family. So he's a good man, and people need to respect him instead of putting him down.
I know you're a guy that doesn't need any extra motivation, but obviously they're picking you to lose. They're picking you because they think you're going to lose, and they want to preserve the Canelo rematch in September. How far up does that get you?
When I fought Timothy Bradley to make it to the Olympics, they picked me to lose. They picked me to get knocked out, and I dropped Timothy Bradley in the first round and had him out in the last round. I fought Berto. I fought Austin Trout. They picked me to lose all those fights, and I didn't. I came to fight. Same thing here. It's always good when they pick you. It's like extra motivation. You know what I mean? What I do, no matter what he does, people gonna be, oh, we know he did that. We know he was gonna do that. But whatever I do, like, oh shit. Why didn't he? Where's Villainfy at? This is not the same Villainfy. You know what I mean?
How gratifying would it be to not only beat Golovkin, but to just upset the rematch and everything, and just upset all the plans of boxing? I know you like that kind of stuff.
That's what I'm about. It's a nightmare, right? I'm gonna create a nightmare, baby. That's what's gonna happen.
What takes over you? I mean, because obviously you've taken some losses along the way as a pro, but when you stand as an underdog, does something happen inside you to where you are able to rise to that level?
It does.
Can you describe it? What happens?
It's motivation, it's fire, you know what I mean? People say mean things and you see that, you know what I mean? You look your kids in the eyes, dude, every day, like I'm about to shock the world, I can't wait, you know what I mean? That's all the motivation you need, Just look my kid in the eyes, say I'm gonna win for you, and that's what I'm gonna do.
What's a better weight class for you, 54 or 60?
160 now.
Do you feel like you have the proper time to be the proper strength?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I'm working at Snack, so we're good.
The fight that you were planning in March, that the guy pulled out of, was that at 160 or was that at 154?
154. Okay. That was a 154 title eliminator for Jermell Charlo. Okay. And he pulled out to fight. He moved up, I guess, to fight Danny, and I moved up to fight.
But you're finding you're more comfortable fighting at 160 than
I think so. So throughout the years, whenever I fought heavier, I did good.
What were you doing when Don King gave you the call?
I was on my bed, and my kids, my son Andrew and Ariana, they just jump on me every morning. I take them to school, so I was in bed because Florida is 3 hours ahead. So I got the call about 8 o'clock, and he told me, and I was like, baby, Triple G. And then I looked at it because I was like, remember a couple of weeks ago you said you like this, but now I gotta fight him. You know what I mean? So it was very good. It was happy. I just said yeah, and I called my trainer and I told him. And he was like, all right, we went straight to gym, man. We went back to gym and we started working. We were already in shape. We were getting ready for Salaki, and we just continued to work.
Linus, what do you expect that night? Obviously, you're the LA native, but he is the star. What do you expect that kind of fan kind of support to be like that night?
Yeah, you guys gonna be surprised. The homies that I got coming, man, the Latinos, the Mexicans, man, I love them, bro. They're good fans, you know what I mean? And my American people, everybody, man, my Armenians, you know what I mean? I just say one thing. I know that it's gonna be intense. I got my people there. I just hope that people let me and Golovkin do the fighting in the ring, and outside of the ring, they just enjoy the show. Just peace, come enjoy the show. Drink a lot of tecate, have a good time, but let us do the fighting in the ring.
How gratifying is it to fight in Los Angeles?
it's amazing. It's a dream come true. You know, when you lay in your bed. You know, it's funny, going to the Olympics, I would always lay in my bed. I didn't know I was going to go to Greece. But I was always listening to Greek music, and I was just picturing myself in the Olympics. And I made it to the Olympics, and the person that I was listening to in my headphones was performing in the opening ceremony, and I didn't even know. So it's just the same thing now. It's just laying in bed and just thinking about it, you know. Like, you just hear, like, down goes Golovkin, and I'm just thinking, like, you know, thinking about stuff to do. I visualize it, and I seen the fight, I seen the victory, I see it every day, and that's what I'm so happy.
With what punch are you visualizing?
I mean, you see, man. You know, you see, man.
It's going to be a knockout, you're saying?
Well, you know, when you visualize, you see a lot of things. You know, I don't see this fight going. I'm not dancing around circles for him. You know, I don't got time for that. I'm not getting overtime pay. You know what I mean? So we're just gonna go there, and I think what I gotta do, what I have to do, and what I seen in my vision. It's gonna work.
Rhonda says, what's up?
Hey, what's up, Rhonda? Oh, how you doing, Rhonda? That's right.
Everybody's taking a picture of you now.
Ronda Rousey.
You talk to her a lot?
She comes here, you know, she's like a sister to us. When Rhonda was here, she had no fights. When we were together, she had like 1 fight, and I remember one fight, a pit bull bit her leg. We put 15 stitches on her leg, and the next day she fought, and she got the girl in the armbar. Nobody knew about that. So she's a warrior. I think like 2nd or 3rd fight, and that's what we knew. Like, oh shoot, this chick is like amazing. You know, she can do something. She wanted to fight, so she's always been supportive. She comes here time to time, and we see her. Right now she's doing that wrestling thing, so she'll come to fight.
How's she doing?
She's doing good. She was here actually 2 days ago, man. 2 days ago, she saw me before she left.
Is the rest of the training camp going to be finished up north, or are you going to come down here?
Well, we plan on going back and forth. We were there for a couple of weeks. We're going to be here. I think we're going to finish here because we got a lot of killers in LA. You know, they're going to come and spar with us. Over there, I was sparring super middleweight guy, Evgeny Chinchenko, I think his name was. He's an undefeated super middleweight right now. That's who we were sparring, and the boy was tough, man. He just kept coming. I got the best from 2nd day, though. I think it's the 2nd day.
Bonnie, so much is it made of his power. Do you even think about it at all? I know you're going in there to fight, but is that even in the back of your mind that you might run into something if you're a little careless?
I mean, of course, it's a fight, you know. I've ran into shots. I've ran into shots all the time, you know what I mean? Has he? We'll see how he does.
You think he's been tested? His chin's been tested at all from what you've seen?
I don't think it's been tested the way, you know, that I would want to test it.
You know, your only 3 losses came against, you know, elite fighters. How much confidence does that give you?
I mean, those losses came to guys that ran. If you watch those fights, I'm chasing the guys. I'm getting frustrated. The Lara, I was sprinting after Lara. You know what I mean? So those fights, I have to chase the guys. I don't have to chase Golovkin. And if you watch those fights, just watch the first round. As soon as I hit Lara with a right hand, he goes, oh shit, nope, and he starts going back away. Andrade too, as soon as I dropped him, he got up and just started to dance circles around me. And that's the thing, with Golovkin, I know that if I hit him, he has the ego that he's going to be like, shit, you know what I mean? People see him as a macho man and big guy, he's going to come and try to, you know, we'll see. I'm going to test him for sure.
Did it surprise you that he engaged against her and he didn't run as much as he did with you? And what did you make of her victory performance over Lara?
I think he fought, you know, just like he said, Angulo times 10, that's what he did. He put the Angulo pressure on him. And, you know, Lara's legs are not the same. And Lara was not the same after I fought. He wasn't the same after that.
Do you plan on staying at 160 after this fight, or do you want to stay at 54?
Well, I got to defend my titles, man. I got to defend 160, so 160.
So that would be the plan then?
Probably, yeah, that's the plan.
Bonis, do you take anything, obviously Triple G's gone the distance his last 2 fights, Jacobs and Canelo. Do you take anything from those fights and that maybe you see you could implement in?
Of course. He went to decision. You know what I mean? He went to decision and he got hit. I mean, I think it all started with Kell Brook when Kell Brook took the fight with him and he started landing some punches. Everybody was scared of the guy, but after that Kell Brook fight, people were like, let me get in there. And then Danny got in there, you know what I mean? And then finally, after all the years, Canelo's like, let me go in there now. And then he got in there, you know what I mean? And so I think that, you know, everybody is beatable on any given night. You just gotta, the best man shows up and then takes it. That's the beauty about boxing, you know, the underdog. How many people counted the underdog out and they just come and perform and they just shine, you know what I mean? And it's going to be a great night.
I know it's kind of a silly question, but a lot of the fans kind of felt that Gennady might have ruined the fight with Canelo? Aside from the positive doping test, and Canelo felt that everything that Gennady was saying kind of pressured Ansac to take the fight where it was, and kind of it ruined the whole fight. How do you feel about that? Do you think Gennady really wanted the Canelo fight, or he kind of looked the way out of it?
I say like this: does Canelo really want the fight? You know what I mean? If he did, I mean, I just heard like he took himself out of testing. You know, if he just got caught, I mean, if God forbid, if I ever get caught eating some kind of meat, supposedly, you know, something like that, I will test myself every single day to the media, at least once a week, to show people that I'm not. You know what I mean? This is who I am. But he's not doing any of that. He's actually trying to dodge away from that. And the thing about this guy that I'm fighting, Golovkin, is a 100% pure athlete, clean athlete, 100%. I'm clean athlete, man. I never failed any of those tests. You know what I mean? And we're ready to fight. I mean, the thing with Canelo, man, I used to like the kid, you know what I mean? I'm okay with, you know, Golden Boys and Robert Diaz and stuff. They're good people. I know them.
Did you spar Canelo at some point?
Nah, Canelo doesn't want to spar with me. I mean, I was #1 for WBC for a long time when I was with Top Rank. When I fought Saul Roman, they promised me you get Canelo next, and then they gave me Lara. And then after Lara, they're like, oh, it's a rematch. It was a draw. You know what I mean? So I stopped going that way. That's why we fought Andrade, because it was like, we're just going to chase him over and over again. And now, for all these years, for him to run away from Golovkin and to fight him, and then the second fight to do something like this, it just shows that, you know, he lost. I feel like he lost every match.
How would have Andrade fared against Gennady, having been in there with him? How would he have fared against Gennady? I know you're in there now. It's your time, your moment, but...
Well, Andrade and, excuse my language, you know, when there's fights and the fight's not going good, all you hear is like, culero, cool. That's all you're going to hear if the fight happened with Andrade, that's all you're going to hear. Mexican fans were just going to come there. You'll probably see bigger fights in the stands than you would see in the fight, because he's just going to run all night trying to outbox him and at the end say, oh, I beat him on points. That's just the way Andrade fights. He doesn't come to fight, he comes to box you and to beat you. But I do respect Andrade, his skills. If you want Mexican style fighting, it's right here, you know what I mean? You go to any gym over here in California and they know that once you put me in the ring, I'm ready to go. I don't care who it is. I spar with heavyweights, I spar with super middleweights, I spar with Latif Coyote too, you know, so I spar with all those guys, I don't care. And Freddie Roach knew that, you know, everybody knows that.
I mean, honest, how is this situation different than the Brook situation that he found himself in with Gennady Golovkin? Because I know people are going to bring parallels between that fight and this fight.
Brook fought scared, I feel like. Brook just went in there to see who this guy is. And he said, as soon as he touches me, I feel like, my opinion, I feel like he told his coach, listen, as soon as I get my ass kicked, it's pull it. You know what I mean? We done. And watching the Brook fight, I don't even know why he stopped at the 5th round, because he was actually doing good in round number 4. And I think in round number 5, he just sat down and he just basically quit. You know what I mean? The Brook fight, I think he fought scared. I mean, if you watch round number 1, Brook is about to go down. And then Brook hits him with an uppercut. And all of a sudden, you see Triple G going back, and then that's what people started to think, like, oh shit, like, dude, the guy, you know what I mean? Like, we saw something, you know what I mean? I think that's where it all started.
Ron, do you feel like mentally you kind of have the advantage going into this fight, just because you weren't dealing with, is my opponent going to be there, am I going to fly? Yeah. You know what I mean? All that, you were just training, doing what you're doing. Next thing you get the call, hey, I'm getting the fight, let's do it.
I mean, I was thinking about it in my head, you know, like, oh, I wish, you know, they did something like that, if I could step in or something like that. And I didn't even know, man. I just got the call. What's funny is that day I was running earlier in the morning, 6 a.m. I go running with my dad. Then I came home, I was in the bed with kids jumping all over me, and I got the call. It was so amazing, man.
Honest, who's had the best performance against Triple G from you can see? Even if they win or lost, but who do you think got the most effective?
I think Jacobs did. I think Jacobs did good with Triple G. He boxed him. Canelo really worked more on defense. I do like the Brook fight. I like a couple of rounds in the Brook fight. I mean, there's fights that you can pick, you know, some rounds that people do have their moments with them in fights. So I would think that Danny Jacobs' fight was a good fight. That I would say was a good fight. It was a good performance against him, because Danny, especially getting dropped by Sergio Mora, you know what I mean? Yeah. The Land Snake 2 fights ago, like round 1 or 2. fights Triple G, doesn't get dropped. Well, he gets dropped, but he gets up and goes 12 rounds with the guy. It says a lot.
So, and not taking anything away because you're going to fight him, but a lot of people think that Triple G might be on a decline. It's shown in each performance. He hasn't been as dominant. You said he was a dominant. Do you think he's on a decline, or do you think it's his styles that have got a little difficult?
No, I think styles make fights. I mean, styles do make fights. All the guys that he's fought, the UK guys, you know, beer belly and stuff like that, get him in the body, they going down, you know what I mean? I do think that styles make fights, and I also do feel like he is stepping up in competition. And I think one of his step-ups was Brook, honestly, and then it was like, you know, he got to Danny Jacobs, and now Canelo was not a step-up. It was actually Canelo stepping up to fight him, finally. So I think Canelo saw something in that. So I don't see him declining. I think that, you know, styles make fights. I think the competition is getting better and better and better. People are working on him. They're training for him.
Stylistically, for you, who's a more difficult fight, a Triple G or a Canelo, given their styles?
Canelo will be easy work. Triple G is they are similar styles. Canelo has more defense, but for fan friendly is Golovkin. He's stronger. I mean, I think Golovkin, not speed wise, but strength wise, obviously he's way stronger than Canelo. Canelo should fight Matthew's brother. Well, Ricky had his brother again. You know what I mean?
When you say he's easy work, what do you think you can knock out Canelo?
I mean, when I was Canelo's mandatory, he was running for me for years when I was with Top Rank. So if you who he was, if you look at Triple G, he's never ducked anybody in his life, right? But Canelo's been ducking people. I was his mandatory when I first saw Roman at Staples Center. He didn't fight me, you were there, and he didn't fight me after that fight. So it says a lot about him, you know, but it also says a lot about me. I want to fight him. I never said no to nobody.
Do you think he took Golovkin's power well?
Well, we don't know what he was on in that fight, so yeah.